Today I'm going to show you an example of the Student Assessment Standards Comparison Report. I'm already logged into Illuminate and logged into a school, so I'm going to go to Reports. Under the General tab, List Reports. Click on Pre-Built, hit Update. And here's the report I'm looking for, Student Assessment Standard Comparison Report. I'm going to click on it. And I'm already logged into a single school, so I'm going to pick a teacher. And you notice that red tab that came up here in the right hand corner said it was loading. What it's doing is it's going out for this teacher and loading in all of this teacher's students, all of the assessments that those students have, and all of the standards that are associated with those assessments down below. Let me go ahead and pick on AB Language 8 class. So again, it's refiltering the list so it shows the students in AB Language 8 that have these assessments, these standards. I'm going to filter it down a little bit more. I'm going to pick her third period class. And so these are the assessments that her third period class has as students, and it could be in any of their courses. And these are the standards that are associated with those assessments. There's quite a few. There's language arts standards. Here's some math standards. There's some science standards at the bottom. What's really nice about this new report is that now if I click on an assessment, I'm going to pick on the 11-12 LAFT pre-assessment grade 8. When I click on that assessment, it automatically filters the standards above so that only the standards for the highlighted assessments down below show. An example would be if I continue and highlight the algebra, Foundations of Algebra assessment, you'll notice that now there's a math standard showing in the list. Now I normally wouldn't compare these two on a standards report, but just to show you that for every one of these that you click, those standards will appear up here. Let me take that out, and now the math standard disappears. And let me clear out that pre-assessment. Now the opposite also holds true. If I go up into my standards and pick the grade 8 Reading Comprehension 2.1 standard, it filters the assessments to only those assessments that have that standard on them. So in this case, it's just the pre-LAFT and the 8.1 LAFT have that particular standard. So knowing that, now going ahead and running my report, I'm going to pick on the LAFT pre-assessment and the 8.1 LAFT. Notice it filtered the standards, so only the standards for those two assessments will show up here. And for my report, I'm going to pick on Reading Comprehension 2.1, Reading Comprehension 2.2, and I'm going to run my standards comparison report for those two standards across those two assessments. Notice it shows, has a checkbox here, show the % correct column in the report. I'll talk about that one in a minute. But for now, let's go ahead and download the report. I'm working in Chrome, so it's going to pop a box up down here that says my data's ready. I'm going to click on it. And it's going to open up an Excel spreadsheet that has my report in it. And for right now, I'm going to go ahead and hide all these students. I don't need all those student names appearing there. And let me make this just a little bit more readable. So here's my report. I have two standards in my report, Reading Comprehension 2.1 and Reading Comprehension 2.2. I have two assessments in my report, the pre-LAFT and the 8.1 LAFT. So let's take the first example. My first student, whose name I've hidden here, on the pre-LAFT there was 2 questions on Standard 2.1. This student got 2 correct out of the 2. On 8.1 LAFT for that same standard, the student also got 2 out of 2 correct. So a total of 4 out of 4 possible, or 100% correct. The second student got 2 questions correct on pre-LAFT and only 1 on that same standard on 8.1 LAFT for a total of 3 correct out of 4, or 75%. This same thing was done for Standard 2.2. Now I mentioned that checkbox, this column right here, which is the total % correct for that standard. If I had unchecked this box right here and then rerun my report, this column would not show up. At the very far right of the report, there's 2 columns. that show the overall percent correct on that assessment. So on the pre-LAFT, there were 75 questions. This student got 77.3% correct. On 8.1 LAFT, there were 75 total questions, and this student got 73.3% correct. If I was just interested in those two columns and not interested in individual standards, I could have run this same report, simply deleted those columns, and now I would have had just an overall performance on these two assessments. But as right now I'm interested in the standards, I'm going to leave those columns. So this is a quick overview of the Student Assessment Standard Comparison Report in Illuminate.